Hey guys, you're welcome to my channel today. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, we'll be cutting and sewing this really cute top that you can see on your screen. So for this tutorial, I used 1 yard of Ankara print. If you're interested, keep on watching and let's get started. So I'm going to be cutting both the front and the back together, hence why I folded my both fabric. The one underneath is the back, and you can see that I have 2 pieces of fabric there. So what I'll do is to take out my zipper allowance of 1.5 inches for the back. After marking the zipper allowance for the back, I'll place the front on it. The front is on fold, the center front is on fold. So the next thing I'll do is to mark the length. I'll go down by 13 inches, which is the distance from my shoulder to my under bust point. From that 13 inches, I added 1.5 inches to it for the folding, and then I added extra 1 inch for the joining of both the lower part and the shoulder area. So altogether I added 2.5 inches allowance to the 13 inches, which is my under bust point. For the wideness of the fabric, you're going to determine how wide you want it to be. You've already seen my outcome. My sleeves area is quite short, so what I have altogether here is 21.5 inches. For the neck width for both the front and the back, I took 3.5 inches. For the depth of the front, I took 3 inches. So as you can see on the thumbnail, the neckline is quite high, so you don't have to take 3 inches for your neck depth. You can do 2.5 inches. So after connecting, this is what I have. For the depth of the back, I'll be taking 1.5 inches. You can do just 1 inch. The width is the same with the front, 3.5 inches. Okay, so the back is 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to connect like this. The next thing I'll do now is to place my tape on the front, the folded end of the front, and I'm going to take half of my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. From that point, you're going to determine your sleeves length. So this is all I have on this fabric, which is 13.5 inches. So that's how long my sleeves is going to be. If you feel like my sleeves is short, you can make yours longer. So on that point, I went down by 1.5 inches. What I'll do now is to slant from the 1.5 inches to meet my shoulder point, which is 8 inches, as you can see. So after doing that, now I'm going to determine the depth of the sleeves, how open you want the sleeves area to be. For me, I'll place my tape on the 1.5 inches and I'll go down by 10 inches. There is no rule to this. You can decide to just leave it like that. You don't have to go in by your sleeves opening. Okay, so on that opening, I went in by 1 inch. Now I'm going to place my tape on the base like this, and I'm going to just curve from that sleeves opening. Now you don't have to do this, you can just leave it the way it is and then you gather everything in place. But for me, because I wanted to have a little bit of shape at that point, I went in by 2.5 inches and then I slanted from the sleeves opening all the way like this. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and cut. So when cutting out the neckline area, make sure you cut out the front separately and the back separately. After cutting, I went ahead to open up my fabric. So this is the front. All you do now is to pipe the neckline for the front. You also pipe the neckline for the back. After doing that, you join both shoulders together and sew in place. After sewing the shoulder, you are going to hem the armhole opening. Okay, so after doing that, you will now sew the sides in place. So you are sewing everything around after piping the neckline. Sew the shoulder. After sewing the shoulder, pipe the sleeves area. Okay, and from there you're going to sew the side close. After sewing everywhere closed, this is what I have. So the next thing you're going to do is to run a gather stitch on the base, and you're going to gather all the way from the beginning to the end. I've gone ahead to do that. So you're going to take the one side of the thread and you're going to pull gently to form your gathers. Okay, you're going to gather this to be the size of your under bust circumference plus your zipper allowance. So my under bust circumference is 28 inches and my zipper allowance is 3 inches. Remember, I took 3 inches to 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. So on both sides it is 3 inches. 28 plus 3 inches is 31 inches. So I'm gathering this to be 31 inches. As you can see, after gathering I have my 31 inches. So I'm going to keep this aside and we're going to work on the band. So when cutting out your band, you're going to make sure that your band is also the same measurement that you have for the under bust part of the main bodice. I don't know if you understand. So go ahead and measure your under bust, then you use it to cut out the band and add your zipper allowance, whatever it is you used for your zipper allowance. So this is the fabric for the band. Because I don't want to hem the base, I went ahead to fold it into two, as you can see. After doing that, I'll fold it over like this. So on this part that is open, I'm going to take my zipper allowance again. My zipper allowance is 1.5 inches, so I'm marking the 1.5 inches all the way like this. After doing that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to use my pins to hold the zipper allowance down. You can hold it down or you can run a gather stitch on it to hold everything together, okay? So before you hold it down, make sure you notch it so you know where the zipper allowance is. So after notching, I'll go ahead and use my pins to hold the zipper allowance down, because we want to create the shape that you can see on the band. As you can see on the thumbnail, the band is not straight, so that curvy effect that we have there is what I'm trying to create. So what I'll do first of all is to notch the center of the band, as you can see, so it is more visible, and then I'm going to fold it into two and I'll notch the sides of the band. This is very important. So to know the side, make sure the center is sitting with the zipper allowance, okay? So that is how to know the both sides, notch the both sides. So from the end, I'll go up by 4 inches on this end, and I'll repeat the same thing on this other side. I'll go up by 4 inches. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect from the center notch now to meet the 4 inches, okay? So this is to give it that round shape. If you feel like mine is not round enough, you can go up by 3 inches or 2 inches depending on what you want, okay? So I'll also curve from the other 4 inches to the center notch like this. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and cut. So this shape is going to be for both the front and the back, but if you want it to be just for the front, you have to cut the front separately. So after cutting, this is what I have. So now I'm going to open up the zipper allowance that are already closed. So after opening the band up, this is the shape that we have on it. So it's both for the front and the back. So like I explained earlier, your band should be your under bust circumference plus your zipper allowance, okay? Do not forget that. So this is what I have here, 31 inches. So what I'll do now is to bring in the upper bodies that are already gathered. I'm going to pin the side joining to this side, okay? Make sure that is where you pinned first, the joining on the upper bodies, pin it to the side of the band, and then start arranging the other parts of the upper bodies on the band like this. You can also notch the center of the upper bodies, then you pin it to the center of the band, okay? So after arranging, go ahead and use your pins to hold everything down, and then you're going to head over to your sewing machine to sew. Make sure you pin it well before heading over to your sewing machine to sew, okay? After sewing everything in place, this is what I have. This is what the dress looks like. So the next thing you're going to do now is to fix your zipper to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll fix my zipper to the back. I've gone ahead to sew my zipper in place, so this is what I have now. So the next thing you're going to do now is to sew an elastic band to the shoulder area of the blouse. So this is optional. You don't have to sew an elastic band to the shoulder area of the blouse, but as you can see on the thumbnail, they sewed an elastic band on the shoulder just to give it that gathered effect. And the zipper that I added on my blouse is the zipper that you can open all the way to the end, so it's easy for you to wear your blouse. So what I'll do now is to open up the shoulder area, and I'm going to cut out my elastic band. The elastic band that I'll be using here is about 11 inches, but I didn't use everything, so you don't have to make it really long. I didn't end up using everything. So what you do is to first of all iron the shoulder area so it's more visible for you, and then you're going to pin the elastic band to the neckline area. Okay, first of all you pin it down, and then you start sewing. You drag and you sew, you drag and you sew on it, so it's form a gathered effect on the shoulder area of the blouse. So yeah, you do that for both the shoulders, and that is all for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like this video, leave your questions in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.